Hey, this is Mark with Magnolia Oaks Woodshop, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the xTool P2 riser base. And this has really expanded what I'm able to do with this machine, and it really gives you a lot of opportunities for using a lot of different types of materials. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip around the camera and show you exactly how this works and how it can benefit you. Okay, so you can see the xTool riser base. And this adds about 7 inches of clearance underneath the machine. And I've been using it for about a year without the riser base, and having it has expanded what I'm able to do greatly. And I highly, highly recommend it. I'm going to show you some of the things about it that you need to know before you get into investing in this particular accessory. First of all, again, it's 7 inches, so it gives you 7 more inches of height that you can use inside of your machine, which is really helpful because if you look inside, you really only have about 1.9 inches of thickness to engrave on. So if you're doing like cutting boards and things like that, really flat items, that will work fine. However, if you want to do anything that's over that height, you really don't have an option other than you can put it up on 2x4s. You know, you can build a little base however you like. But the problem is the smoke. So I use mine inside of an office, and I really don't have an option. I use, of course, the xTool Smoke Purifier, and that works great. However, if you have it just on a stand, all this area in the front is open. And so the people that you typically see doing that, they have either a very strong exhaust fan, or they're venting outside, or they are able to vent outside where the smoke's not that big of an issue. In my environment, it is a problem, and so I have to have something that encloses the smoke as best as possible. Well, let me show you the unit first. First of all, you have a nice pass-through that is available on the front and back, and it's made out of a really nice, I think, aluminum. And then you have different marks that you can see right there. And that corresponds with the tape that you get with the unit. So, you know, for doing the rotary and tumblers and things like that, it will tell you the width, and then it will tell you where you need to set your pan, or your bottom plate, basically, which slot. So you can see that has several different slots right here. And here is your base pan, and you basically just pull it out and you slide it into, you know, whichever hole works best for whatever you're doing. Now, one thing I will say, when you're putting this in, and this is the same case whether or not you have the riser base, but you want to make sure that you firmly press this plate back against the back wall, because that will allow it to know that it's properly seated, and you won't get an error in XCS when you go to process something. So what I do typically, unless it's something really large, I'll leave some of these support pieces on the side to give me a reference to see, you know, I want the top of my item, whatever I'm trying to engrave, to be right a little bit above that, so that it will auto measure correctly. And I found that to work fine. You can see right here, you have the plug-in for the rotary, the RA2 Pro, or the older one. Either one works fine. And without this riser base, you really don't have a great way to do engraving tumblers. You don't have the Z height. And so this riser base gives you that ability, and it also allows you to, again, trap that smoke and those fumes that you don't want to be breathing. So again, you have the pass-through on the front. It's held up by magnets, which is very nice. You have it on the back as well, same features and functionality. One thing I will note is it may look kind of strange with this gap. You can see right here, it doesn't fit down flushly, but that is the way it's supposed to be. The construction of it was very simple. I actually gave it to my 15-year-old son to put together, and he put it together in about 20 minutes. And then also a nice little feature is over on this side. It also has another basically cubby hole where you can keep your rotary, the slats as you take them out. So it gives you a good place to keep everything tidy and all together. An incredible enhancement to the functionality of this machine, being able to do basically everything at this point. You have a very capable 55-watt CO2 laser to do engravings for, you know, cutting boards, cutting out wood. I mainly do wood products and a little bit of acrylic. I'm going to be getting more into tumblers now that I have the ability with the riser base to do larger items. And I really don't think you can go wrong with getting this when you buy the unit or adding it on later on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the XCS software and show you how the basic functionality works versus, just having the slats in versus having the riser base, and how you go about measuring the item and actually using it. So hang on one second. Okay, so you can see I've got this old boot jack in here that I'm going to show you how to engrave it. You can see it's probably about 3 inches or so, 4 inches, and I just got propped up with some door stops and leveled it out with a little pocket leveler. You definitely want something like this to make sure that everything's level. And then you can see right here I've got it on the 1 setting. I think you can see that. And then so I'll close this up, and then I'll pull this down. And what I'm going to do is go to the computer and show you how I set this up. Okay, I'm inside the XCS software, and all I've done is connect the machine, and I've brought in my logo right here that I'll do the engraving on. So it shows you the base, but you can see it kind of a strange look right here. It doesn't look, square. It's not like you're over the top looking down. So what you have to do first is you need to, well, let me make this into a vector first. So I brought it in. You'll just do trace image and then save. And then this part, the bitmap, you can delete. This right here I found does well with 85%, 85% or 85 speed. And then I always change engraves over here to blue layer. That's just what I like to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees, and then I'm going to resize it down. But even though it looks okay in this view, we need to make sure. So the next thing that we'll do is we need to change this to be from slats flat to be open plane. Okay, so it looks a little bit better. And now we need to auto measure the height of the item. So you go right here, this would be about the height. All of it should be level at this point. So it's telling you that the height is 1.3. I would, whatever it is, I always add, about 0.05, something like that. So I'm just going to do 1.4. It won't make that big of a difference. And then also I want to place this wherever I want it, make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to do a capture close view so I can see actually with those HD cameras what this looks like on the actual unit. So you can see that it's pretty good. Hang on one second, I'm going to do an extra step to make sure that we're lining everything up correctly. Okay, so if we do a refresh, I just went in there to the machine and I added a popsicle stick, and I use that to give me a reference on the actual object, because I know if I line it up based off this reference object that I'm going to be right on. And you can also, what I also do is I'll put a mark horizontally where the center is, and then in the area that I want to engrave, I'll put a mark where the center is. That gives me another good reference to line up these, so you can make sure that it's centered both vertically and horizontally. So in this case, I can tell that I have a pretty good spacing right here. It looks like it's basically centered on the popsicle stick right there and right there. So I think we're ready to go, and we'll just hit process. Now before you hit start, I need to go remove that popsicle stick or it will engrave on there. Okay, so I remove the popsicle stick. I'm going to hit start, and I just have to go in there and push the button to get rolling. Okay, so that took 7 minutes and 56 seconds. I probably could have done it more quickly if I increased the speed, but I found that 85 speed works pretty good on this type of wood. Okay, let's look in here and see how it turned out. Well, it turned out really well. You can see that it has some burn marks around the edges, but all we'll do with that is just take a magic eraser and clean that off, and it'll look great. So you can see it turned out excellent. The auto measure turned out well. cannot do this without the riser base. And anything that's, you can see this is at an angle. And so all I did was just put some business cards and door stoppers underneath it until it's level. And it works great. So this opens up so many different possibilities for you and your business. This is actually mango wood. One of my buddies in India, they have mango wood all around them. And he had built this for me as a gift. And it's a beautiful wood, especially when it's finished. But I hope you can see the benefits of the riser base, why you would want it, this P2 machine. If this is something that you're interested in, I highly recommend it for a CO2 machine that you can keep inside of your office or your home. And the amount of money that you can generate from this particular machine is incredible, because it gives you all the flexibility of being able to do, again, flat surfaces. You have the power to do cutting, you know, wood and acrylic and everything else. And then with the riser base, the types of products that you can do opens up immensely. So I highly recommend it. Definitely check this out. And if you have any questions, just let me know. If you're looking for a P2 or any other xTool machine or this riser base, I'll have a link down in my description that you can check it out there. And I really appreciate your support of the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.